Hello and welcome to our New Way Growth channel on all things business growth and strategy. If you're an entrepreneur or small business owner, then today's topic is an absolute must know. We're talking about why cash flow is not just important, but a non-negotiable factor for the success of your company. Now, I can't emphasize enough how crucial cash flow management is. I've seen brilliant businesses with amazing products or services struggle and even go under simply because they didn't have a proper handle on their money coming in and going out. On the flip side, I've watched other businesses survive tough times by carefully managing their cash flow. So whether you're just starting out or have been in business for years, stick around, because over this next 5 to 10 minutes, I'll be breaking down exactly why cash flow deserves your full attention and giving you some pro tips on how to get it under control. So let's dive in. First up, let's address the elephant in the room, profits. Yes, of course, making a profit is important and should be one of your goals as a business owner. But here's the thing, profits alone don't necessarily mean your business is financially healthy or sustainable. Cash flow is what really allows you to keep operating and take your business to the next level. You see, profits are simply what's left over after you subtract expenses from revenue. But that doesn't mean you actually have cash available to pay your bills, invest in growth, or cover any unexpected costs that come up. Cash flow, on the other hand, is the actual movement of money going in and out of your business. It represents your liquidity and ability to stay operational. I've seen companies post great profits on paper but then struggle immensely because those profits were all tied up in inventory, accounts receivable, or other assets rather than available cash. That's why I always say cash flow, not profits, is the true measure of business success. Master your cash flow and you'll be in the best position to thrive. Okay, so we know cash flow is crucial, but how do you actually get a grip on it for your business? The answer lies in cash flow forecasting, projecting your expected inflows and outflows over a given period, usually monthly or quarterly. We do monthly. A cash flow forecast is essentially a plan that maps out when you expect to receive money from things like sales and when you'll need to spend money on expenses like payroll, rent, loan payments, and so on. It allows you to see potential cash shortfalls before they actually happen, so you can be proactive about bringing in more cash or adjusting your spending as needed. Now, I can't overstate how valuable this tool is. It takes away that anxious guesswork of wondering if you'll be able to cover next month's bills. With a solid forecast, you can have visibility and control. You can make smart decisions like taking on the big new project because you know you'll have the cash flow to fulfill it properly. Now, trust me, once you start forecasting your cash flow, you'll wonder how you ever ran your business without it. The peace of mind alone is worth its weight in gold. Now, in the description, I've included a link to our downloadable cash flow forecast template, an Excel forecast template. Right, we've covered why cash flow is king and the importance of forecasting. Now let's talk about the actual nuts and bolts of calculating your cash flow correctly. The formula is pretty straightforward. You take all your cash inflows from things like sales, financing and investments and subtract your cash outflows for expenses like payroll, rent, inventory, etc. If your inflows exceed your outflows, you have positive cash flow for that period. If your outflows are higher than your inflows, you have negative cash flow. Sounds simple enough, but there are a few key things to keep in mind to make sure you're calculating accurately. First, timing is everything. You have to carefully track when money is actually received versus when it's earned or invoiced. Things like accounts receivable don't count as inflows until that cash hits the bank. Next, don't forget to account for non-sales cash flow items like loan payments, asset purchases, or owner investments. These impact your cash position just as much as day-to-day operations. And finally, if you're VAT registered, be sure to include VAT amounts in both your inflows and outflows and account for those quarterly VAT payment outflows to HMRC. Now, in calculating cash flow properly and spotting any potential cash crunches, you can take action before it becomes a crisis. Things like negotiating payment terms, reining in expenses, or seeking additional financing. Right, now I want to share some top cash flow management tips that every business owner should live by. First up, If you're not already using cash flow forecasting, get used to it. Use our template that's in this description. But once you're comfortable and understand it, make full use of accounting software. It will make tracking your inflows and outflows, creating forecasts and analysing cash flow trends infinitely easier. Next, get into the habit of sending invoices out immediately after completing work. And don't let things lag, because the longer you wait, the higher the chance that your customer forgets or delays payment. On the outflow side, take advantage of the timing flexibility you have. Pay bills electronically on the due date to maximise your cash on hand. And consider getting a business credit card to create a grace period buffer before those payments are actually drawn from your bank account. Train your customers with friendly reminders to pay on time, and consider offering small discounts for early payment to accelerate your inflows. And finally, look for areas to reduce cash outflows without impacting your operations. Simple things like negotiating better payment terms with vendors, refinancing loans, and cutting unnecessary expenses can dramatically improve your cash flow situation. Now, I've covered a ton of ground here today, taking a deep dive into the importance of cash flow, forecasting it accurately, calculating it properly, and managing it strategically on an ongoing basis. But let me leave you with this key takeaway. Having a solid cash flow management system is about more than just avoiding crisis situations where you can't pay your bills. It's about giving yourself a strategic advantage to truly grow your business in a sustainable way. With healthy cash flow, you have the resources and flexibility to act as on opportunities as they arise. Things like investing in new equipment, hiring talented staff, developing new products, or even moving into bigger facilities. You're not constantly stuck in survival mode, scrambling to uncover each month's expenses. Conversely, being plagued by cash flow issues means even the best ideas and opportunities will remain out of reach of as you're forced to make short-sighted decisions just to keep the lights on. So I'll say it again, cash flow is not just something to be aware of as a business owner. It's a non-negotiable factor that will either enable your success and growth or become a constant roadblock holding you back. So there you have it, our comprehensive guide on why cash flow deserves your full attention and how to master it for your business. Now, I hope I've convinced you of its importance, critical importance, and given you a solid game plan to get started with forecasting, calculating, and managing your cash inflows and outflows more effectively. If you're still feeling a bit lost or overwhelmed, no worries at all, that's what I'm here for. Leave a comment below with any specific cash flow questions you have, or if you'd like me to go into more depth on certain areas in a future video, let me know that as well. I'll do my best to point you in the right direction on these. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and want to keep leveling up your business knowledge, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. I've got tons of other great content coming your way on strategic planning, growth tactics, marketing tips, and much more. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.